Welcome back to The Express at Fetzer Presents Great Beginnings. This event is part of the Vancouver Playhouse International Wine Festival, and we're going to meet the winner from this food and wine pairing event at the end of today's show, which is not very far away. Unlike our next topic, which is farther away than you probably think. I'm talking about the moon.
The moon. Most of you probably know a little something about the moon. One, you probably realize that I'm not actually standing on the moon. There's two reasons, but one, my visor's open and I would be dead, and two, I'm really not this short. So
let's talk a little bit about where the moon, let me just borrow this from this guy, may have come from. Raminder, our astronomer here at the Space Center, there is a theory about where the moon actually came from, and the theory is called
the giant impact hypothesis.
The giant impact hypothesis.
The other word for it is the big whack theory.
The big whack theory, which is what I like, because it's just got a little bit more zing to it. So the big whack theory. So what does the big whack theory actually state?
So billions of years ago, when the Earth was forming, a large rock, asteroid, or body the size of Mars collided with the Earth. And that collision was responsible for the Earth butting off into two large objects.
Now, one of the other questions that we get here at the Space Center is just how far away the moon is from the Earth. And a lot of people are quite shocked by the fact that something like the space station, it's only about this far away from the Earth. The space station would be right there, about a finger's width away from the Earth, about 400 kilometers above. But the moon is much farther. I've got a neat trick for everybody at home to try so that you yourself, in the privacy of your own home, can figure out just how far away the moon is. Hey, so here we are at the demonstration table, and you might notice that Raminder's walking around my head with some string. Well, what he's doing is he's wrapping this string around the circumference of my head, which is, I'm going to be honest, I have a surprisingly large head. He's going to wrap it around how many times?
9.5.
9.5 times around my head. 9.5 times around my head, if my head was the size of the world, is the distance from Earth to the moon. So let's try this out. So now I'm going to take this off. You've got it marked there, Raminder, as to what. Ow. Okay, so that's about there. So I'm going to now put that part on my head, and then you take this part. Raminder has the moon plus the 9.5 times around my head. He's going to be stretching out all the way across our cosmic courtyard here, which if he was in space, he would be away about 380,000 kilometers away from the Earth. Remember, the space station is just like a finger's width off my forehead, but the moon, 380,000 kilometers, give or take a little bit, away from the Earth. So again, when you're trying to place cosmic distances and you're looking at how far it takes to get someplace like 3 days to the moon and 6 months to get to Mars, the space station 8.5 minutes to get up there, it really starts to put in perspective just how far away things are. From the MacMillan Space Centre for The Express, I am Cam Cronin.
I'm Raminder Samra.
And may all your moons be full.
If you'd like to win a family pass to the MacMillan Space Centre, be the first correct emailer now, expresscontest@shaw.ca, to tell us how far away the moon actually is. And good luck to you. Now, the theme today on The Express is Great Beginnings, with tonight's appetizer challenge and with our wedding bells segment. One way to make sure you have a great beginning with your wedding day is to get to know the photographer. And one new trend is to have an E session. That's E for engagement and entertainment.
Carrots Wedding Bells is brought to you by Carrots, online at carrots.com.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Wedding Bells.
I just got engaged.
And I did not. We're on an adventure to plan the big day.
That's very nice. That's nice. Aubrey and I met with photographer Malia Sorensen to learn more about a recent trend for couples. Engagement shots, or E-sessions.
Basically, basically it's a way to become comfortable with your photographer and become comfortable having your photo taken. A lot of couples want some decent photos of themselves at their wedding, maybe a sign-in book or a portrait.
And the reason Malia chose an amusement park was
a good location can really help. When the couple's having fun, that's a great thing. Sometimes it's very popular to use props these days.
You can pick somewhere that really reflects you as a couple. What are some key tips you can say to a couple when choosing a photographer?
I would say just make sure that your personalities jive and that you see entire weddings that they've shot.
Is it okay to say, I love that wedding that you did, I kind of want mine to look the same?
I kind of want that dress. I want that hair.
Well, you can do that.
I want that husband.
Okay, Aubrey. It's pink like my ring.
What are we, horses?
Good.
Okay, that's enough loving photographs. We're gonna battle it out on the bumper cars.
Oh yeah.
Aubrey was, of course, a little picky when it came to choosing a bumper car.
Now I'm left to the last one. The kids beat me to it. And just like my man situation, all the good ones ended up being taken.
Which way are we supposed to go? Then it was time for props.
So we'll get 2 cotton candies, please.
On sticks!
$10 for 2 cotton candies. We decided that 1 massive mound of pure sugar was enough for us.
We got Aubrey and Sarah right over here. Come on, head to head.
As usual, Aubrey won. And then, guess what we found out?
Malia has never ridden a roller coaster in
Whole
her
life. Whole life.
So we're going on the roller coaster with Malia.
The great thing about a roller coaster is that you really interact with your environment.
Malia did it. She rode the roller coaster. What do you think?
I think I won't do it again. I think it was really scary. It's like tonsils. You should only do it as a kid.
Although not entirely impressed with the roller coaster, Malia sure was impressed with our shoot.
You were lively, you were spunky, you were fun. I mean, the only thing I would do different again in an engagement shoot is try to
Have a groom? I'm kicking Aubrey out of here, and I'm bringing my man in.
As Sarah and Jody were finding romance in their engagement shoot, I sat realizing I may have to start being less picky with my bumper cars and my men.
For Shaw TV, we're the Wedding Bells.
Carrots Wedding Bells has been brought to you by Carrots, online at carrots.com.
Couples typically spend 12 to 18% of their wedding budget on photography. But how much do they spend on the dress? Well, that's next week on The Express. As for the food and the wine and perhaps where to honeymoon, well, that's what's coming up. After the break,
I think I'll go with the Chardonnay, the butteriness and the richness of the duck, plus the
Chardonnay and duck pate.
You know, their first words were, "This is the Canada I'd imagined."
Wells Gray in Kamloops. The Express. This is your local voice.
I'm Bob Leonarduzzi. Growing up, I spent hours playing soccer with my friends. I couldn't imagine those fond childhood memories ever fading away. But for more than 70,000 British Columbians, Alzheimer's disease or another form of dementia is a reality. Our population is aging and the incidence of dementia will rise. Know the warning signs and reduce your risk of dementia. Contact the Alzheimer's Society of BC for information and education or for support if your family is on the dementia journey.
And the grand judged prize is Jeff Kang, Diva
Welcome back to The Express at the Fetzer event at the Vancouver Playhouse International Wine Festival. It's called Great Beginnings. It's a food and wine pairing appetizer challenge. So first, tell us what you made.
I made a Yellow Meadows duck rillette with Asian pear and radish and hazelnut salad and pickled green strawberries.
Awesome. Paired with the Fetzer Chardonnay, your first time competing, and you won. How do you feel?
I'm just being excited. It was a great dish, you know, great flavors, great local flavors.
What did you think of the pairing and the winning dish?
We loved it. The judges all loved it. It was clearly our favorite. It just really made the wine pop. There was a lot of different flavors, and of course the duck was really wonderful. So we're very happy with it.
Well, all in all, I'd say successful evening, food, wine, great people, and great local talent. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and I want to say thanks to my team who helped me. Without them, like, this dish wouldn't be possible. And also I want to thank my chef as my mentor, and thank you.
You know what you have to do now? Buy him a glass of wine.
Oh, yeah.
The Vancouver Playhouse International Wine Festival runs until April the 3rd. Most of the events are sold out, but you can still get spots at some lunches and some seminars on the Saturday. Now, our BC wines are becoming known around the world, definitely making a name for themselves. But one of the big things BC's known for are stunning wilderness. And today's road trip segment takes us to a Kamloops landscape formed by fire and ice.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip is brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
This time around on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip, we have taken the 90-minute drive north of Kamloops to the Clearwater region and one of the top wilderness areas in all of British Columbia, Wells Grey Provincial Park. Wells Grey is the 4th largest provincial park in BC, nearly the same size as Banff National Park and larger than all 5 of BC's national parks combined. Despite its size, this vast wilderness is still one of our province's best-kept secrets.
That a lot of local people from within BC, that's the first words that come out of their mouth. Wow, I didn't know all this was here. And you know, we have a huge European population that visit us during the summer, and you know, their first words were, "This is the Canada I'd imagined," and it's definitely true.
Your visit to Wells Grey begins in Clearwater, a full-service municipality which comes with its own excellent recreational offerings.
We have some fantastic cross-country ski trails. Within the area itself, we have over 85 kilometers of skiing trails. We have the Candle Creek, which is 10 minutes from the town of Clearwater, and it's groomed for both classic and cross-country ski trails, and it really is top quality.
But further up the road, you get to the park itself, highlighted by scenery carved out by an ancient and much more hostile landscape.
So the park was formed by fire through the volcanoes, and you're going to see all the beautiful volcanic rock formations in Wells Grey Park. And then you had the Ice Age come along, and in this area there was about 2.5 kilometers of ice, and as it melted away, it formed dams and eroded away quite a few canyons and such, and it's eroding as we're speaking.
The most famous of these locations is Helmkin Falls. At 145 meters in height, it is almost triple the height of Niagara Falls and is the main reason Wells Grey was made a park back in 1939. Summer or winter, the falls are a breathtaking sight.
It creates quite the ice cone in the winter time, and it's always awe-inspiring. We live only a few kilometers away from here, and I'm amazed every time I come here.
Summer pursuits in the park include hiking, camping, whitewater rafting, and canoeing on Myrtle Lake, North America's largest lake reserved for non-motorized watercraft only. There is no doubt that if you want to get away from it all, Wells Grey is a place to check out.
And you can really unplug from the everyday life of, you know, cell phones, emails, and just really, you know, get back in touch with nature, and that's what's really appealing about this area.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip has been brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
Wells Grey is so unique that they're applying for status as a UNESCO Heritage Site. You can find out more information at the website. As for culture a little closer to home, that's where we're shining today's Express Spotlight. Aimed at all levels, each cooking class will focus on a specialty, like Asian fusion, seafood, or local ingredients. Guests will discover expert techniques that can be adapted for use in any home kitchen. Deep Cove Shaw Theatre presents Biloxi Blues, a play that centers on the experiences of young Army recruits during World War II. Rare Finds hosts their signature fundraising event to raise awareness and funds for children who've been touched by rare diseases. The evening will include a feast, fun activities, and both live and silent auctions. And that's it for today's Express from the Fetzer Great Beginnings event at the Vancouver Playhouse International Wine Festival, which runs until April the 3rd. I'm Johanna Ward, and on behalf of all of us on the show, thanks so much for watching. We're going to leave you with a visual tour of the new exhibit at the Circle Craft Gallery, and we'll see you next time.